There's a woman in Nagoya whose kitchen counter has exactly 3 things on it: a small ceramic dish for her rings, a single plant in a clay pot, and a folded dish towel, always in the same spot, always within reach. She works full-time. She has 2 kids. Her schedule is, by any measure, just as full and just as exhausting as yours. And yet, every evening when she walks back into her apartment, something happens that doesn't happen for most of us. Her shoulders drop. Not because her home is bigger, or because she has more time, or because she's hired help. Because of 21 small ideas built quietly into the way Japanese homes work, that mean the everyday friction most of us live with. The lost keys, the cluttered counter, the bathroom that somehow never feels clean, the closet you're almost afraid to open, simply isn't there waiting for her. If you've ever walked into your own home after a long day and felt your chest tighten instead of loosen, not because anything's wrong exactly, just because everything feels like one more thing to deal with, this video is for you. By the end of it, you'll have seen all 21, and one of them, sitting inside nearly every Japanese kitchen right now, is going to change the way you think about the most frustrating 15 minutes of your entire week. Stay with me, because the ones near the end of this list are the ones that matter most. Japanese homes aren't designed to look impressive. They're designed to work quietly, invisibly, without friction. So the life being lived inside them is spent on something more valuable than dealing with problems a better design could have solved in the first place. That's the thread running through every one of these 21 ideas. Not luxury, function, the kind that disappears so completely into daily life that you just notice your mornings are easier. Let's start with the front door, because it quietly determines how dirty every other surface in your home gets for the rest of the day. In Japan, it's called the Genkan, a small, dedicated entryway, sometimes just a single step down, where shoes come off before anyone moves into the living space. The separation is physical, not just habitual. The lower level is for the outside world. The raised floor beyond it is for the home. Here's what most of us never think about. Research on household contamination has found that shoe soles carry hundreds of thousands of bacteria, and that the vast majority transfer directly onto clean indoor floors on first contact. Every step you take through your home in outdoor shoes deposits a layer of everything you walked through that day, parking lots, sidewalks, public restrooms, onto the floors where your kids play barefoot. A home with a Genkan isn't cleaner because someone's cleaning more. It's cleaner because less is arriving in the first place. You don't need to renovate to borrow this. A low shoe rack, a small bench, a basket of slippers positioned so clearly that taking your shoes off feels obvious, not a rule you have to enforce. The second idea is in your refrigerator. And once you see it, a standard American fridge looks like a problem nobody seriously addressed. Think about how much has gone bad in yours this month. Vegetables wilting before you could use them. Leftovers that dried out. A standard fridge runs everything at roughly one temperature and hopes for the best. Japanese refrigerators divide the interior into separately controlled zones, a chilled drawer just above freezing for meat and fish, a humidity-controlled section that keeps produce fresh far longer, a dedicated zone for drinks. Every type of food gets closer to the environment it actually needs. The USDA estimates the average American household throws away roughly a third of its food supply every year. A fridge designed around what food actually needs isn't a luxury upgrade. It's a fix for a problem most kitchens have quietly been losing to for years. The third idea reframes what a bath is actually for. Western tubs are built for lying down, which sounds relaxing until you realize you're never fully submerged. Your knees stick out. The water cools quickly because so much surface is exposed to air. By the time you've adjusted the temperature twice, the moment's already passed. Japan built the Ofuro around a different idea entirely. Shorter, but noticeably deeper, designed for sitting upright with your whole body submerged to the shoulders. Less surface area means the water holds heat far longer. And because in Japanese bathing culture, you wash and rinse before getting in, the water stays clean enough to reheat and reuse. Some research on warm water immersion has linked it to reduced cortisol and improved mood. Affects a shallow, quickly cooling bath isn't really deep or warm enough to produce. A Western bath gets you clean. The Ofuro is built to actually let you exhale. The fourth idea eliminates a piece of clutter almost every kitchen in America quietly tolerates. That dish rack on your counter, always slightly damp, never fully empty because clean dishes go in faster than they get put away. Japan replaced it with the built-in dish drying cabinet, mounted directly above the sink. Wet dishes go in, the door closes, a heating element circulates warm air, and when the cycle finishes, your dishes are dry and already stored. Off the counter, out of sight. No tray pooling water on your countertop, no permanently cluttered surface that makes the kitchen feel unfinished, even right after you've cleaned it. The fifth idea removes the need for a laundry room altogether. Most homes dedicate real floor space to two appliances doing one job. A washer washes, a dryer dries, and you move everything between them, hoping you remember to switch the load before it sits damp for an hour. Japan's all-in-one washer-dryer handles both cycles in the same drum automatically, with no transfer in between. Load it before work, and everything's clean and dry by the time you're home. One machine instead of two. Less floor space, and a routine that no longer depends on you being home at exactly the right moment. The sixth idea is in the bedroom. A bed sits there, 16 hours a day doing nothing, taking up a third of the floor space in a room you only use overnight. The Oshiire is a deep built-in closet, sized for a folded futon, pulled out at night, folded away each morning, turning a bedroom into an open room for most of the day. Now, the idea I mentioned at the start, the one already sitting in nearly every Japanese kitchen, quietly solving the most frustrating 15 minutes of your week. Think about cooking rice on a stovetop. The watching, the adjusting, the moment you got distracted and came back to something burnt on the bottom or watery in the middle. Japan solved this decades ago when companies like Zojirushi introduced the fuzzy logic rice cooker, which reads the rice continuously, sensing moisture and adjusting cook time for the exact batch in the bowl. You add rice, add water, press one button. What comes out is something most stovetop cooking in America has never managed to produce consistently. But here's the deeper thing. This appliance isn't really solving a cooking problem. It's handing back the 30 minutes you'd otherwise spend standing at the stove, watching and worrying. That's the thread running through this entire list. Friction designed out, time handed back. The eighth idea sits above the sink. Most Western bathrooms have the toilet and sink as two separate fixtures. Clean water in, dirty water out, twice. Japan's integrated toilet tank hand basin sits on top of the cistern, so the water refilling the tank first passes through a small tap, giving you running water to wash your hands before that same water fills the tank for the next flush. One action does two things. The 9th idea asks you to reconsider the hinged door. Every door that swings open claims roughly a meter of floor space it occupies while moving, space that can't hold furniture and can't be walked through mid-swing. Japan's sliding Fusuma panels glide along a track and take up 0 floor space in any position. Rooms simply feel larger. The 10th idea is about where heat actually comes from. Warm air rises, so most heating fires from chest height, while the floor under your bare feet stays cold all winter. Japan's radiant underfloor heating warms the ground directly, so you step out of bed onto a warm floor instead of a cold one. The 11th idea has to do with windows. Standard curtains block light and do nothing else, not noise, not heat loss. In Japan, noise-blocking, multi-layer curtains engineered to absorb sound and reduce heat transfer are a completely mainstream product, sold the way Americans buy ordinary curtains. The 12th idea solves a small kitchen hazard with a lid. Draining boiling water with a separate colander means steam in your face and a slippery pot. Japan's pots have a built-in strainer lid, tilt against the rim, drain straight through the perforations, no colander, no carrying a full pot of boiling water across the kitchen. The 13th idea is about eggs. A round pan is a compromise for an oval egg, cooking unevenly at the edges. Japan's Tamagoyaki Pan is small and rectangular, built for pouring thin layers and rolling them as each sets. A clean, consistent, rolled omelet every time. The 14th idea is above your head. Drying laundry indoors usually means draped chairs and a rack you trip over for days. Japan's ceiling-mounted retractable drying poles pull down to hanging height when needed and push back flush against the ceiling when they're not. Full hanging space, 0 floor footprint. The 15th idea is in the stovetop. Grilling at home usually means an outdoor grill or a separate appliance. Japanese gas ranges build a grill drawer directly into the unit, cooking from above and below at once, and sliding out clean for washing, the same casual decision as turning on a burner. The 16th idea protects the air itself. A sealed home accumulates carbon dioxide and allergens faster than most people realize, and researchers have linked elevated indoor CO2 to reduced concentration and disrupted sleep. Since the early 2000s, Japanese building law has required continuous mechanical ventilation in every new home. Fresh air cycling in around the clock, with no input needed from anyone living there. The 17th idea is about how water gets heated. A conventional heater burns energy every time a hot tap turns on. Japan's heat pump water heaters extract warmth from outside air instead of generating it, heating water overnight during off-peak hours and storing it for the day. The same hot shower for less. The 18th idea is the simplest to picture, and it's in the majority of Japanese homes. The Western bathroom hasn't meaningfully changed in over a century. Japan's heated toilet seat eliminates the shock of cold porcelain in winter and adds a warm water wash and sensor-triggered flush. Most people who try one for the first time say the same thing. They don't want to go back. The 19th idea is what you're standing on. Hardwood and tile are easy to clean and completely indifferent underfoot. Tatami, tightly woven rush grass over a compressed core, naturally regulates humidity and stays cooler in summer, warmer in winter, cushioning without ever feeling soft. The 20th idea ties directly back to the closet we opened this video with. There's a word, Danshari, built from 3 characters meaning roughly refuse, discard, and separate, being deliberate about what enters your space. and just as deliberate about what's allowed to leave. It's the same root idea behind Marie Kondo's tidying method, but the deeper version isn't a single weekend purge. It's an ongoing filter, applied gently, over and over. Here's the uncomfortable part. Every object you own is something you store, move, or clean around. A closet full of clothes you don't wear doesn't just look cluttered, it makes a simple daily decision harder by doubling the options you're actually choosing between. A version of this you can start tonight. For 1 month, every time something new comes into your closet, one thing leaves. Not someday, that same week. And the 21st idea, the last one, and the reason every other idea on this list exists. Japan doesn't design homes around what's cheapest to build or what photographs well. It designs them around a question almost nobody else seriously asks of a mass market home. What does the person living here actually need? Not occasionally, not when she has time to spare, but on an ordinary Tuesday morning when the kids need to leave in 20 minutes and the counter already has 3 things on it that shouldn't be there? The answer, built quietly into generations of Japanese homes, is this. She needs the home to be doing its job, so she doesn't have to spend her morning doing it for the home. The Genkan keeps the floors clean, so she cleans them less. The rice cooker handles breakfast, so she isn't standing at the stove. The drying cabinet dries and stores at once, so the counter stays clear. None of these are luxuries. All of them are the same quiet answer, repeated 21 times, built into the walls and floors and appliances of a home designed around the life being lived inside it. The woman in Nagoya, with her 3 things on the counter and her shoulders that drop the moment she walks in, has never once called any of this a system. To her, it's simply what a home is supposed to feel like. If even one of these ideas felt like it was speaking directly to you, share this with a friend who's been quietly carrying the weight of a home that was never designed to carry its share with her. She deserves a home that works with her, not against her. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next one.